Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and welcome to this Superliminal Games YouTube Magic Arena video. I'm Dan. It's been a couple weeks since I've been here on the channel, and this time I have got a historic deck that I've been having a lot of fun with that is a deep personal connection to myself, and that's Elves. The reason that Elves has a deep personal connection to me is that back in high school, around the time that I first met Max, Paul, and Jared here on the channel, the only deck I'd ever built in at that point, like 4 years I'd been playing Magic, that could actually win games and take games off of people. If it, obviously if other decks got lucky, they could win games, but the only deck that could consistently do it was like an Onslaught block Elves deck that was like 85 cards, had like 2, 3s, and 4s of every elf I could find, that just any elf, including like the 1-drop with kicker 8 from Invasion that's a common that's not very good, even if kicked. So I've been an Elves fanboy forever. I play it in Pauper. Never played it in Legacy, which is actually kind of weird, but I play it in Pauper, and I've really been loving playing it on Arena and Historic. Things that we get to benefit from here are Collected Company, Craterhoof Behemoth, Allosaurus Shepherd, Elvish War Master. It is a lot of fun. The fact that we have 8 lords in this format is just stupid amounts of fun, and the number of times that I've generated enough mana to just cast an enormous Finale of Devastation, get a Craterhoof, and kill opponents, even, on the life gain decks that are at like 40-some life, is more than one. So let's jump on the ladder and catch a little bit of ladder Elves here. I really have a lot of fun with this deck. I used it pretty successfully. I laddered into Diamond last month for the 2nd month in a row, so that feels pretty good. I was able to play Historic through to Diamond 2 months in a row, doing it in Sultai in May, and here in June doing it, Sultai in April, and in May doing it with Elves. All right, we go first. We have a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. Seems pretty good, especially because Jaspera Sentinel might allow us to skip over the 3 and get right to 4 on turn 4, which is kind of the hope. And we're going to go ahead and play the Lord here and jam in for 2, because our opponent is red, so we want to jam in the damage. I could have cast the Allosaurus Shepherd there, and there's kind of an argument for it. All right, it's Elves versus Goblins, that oh-so-classic matchup. So I'm going to go ahead and play another Lord here. We'll keep our stuff big and able to block. This also ensures company next turn, which is fantastic. Yeah, an opponent's ramping pretty quickly, so this is actually... This is solid. So I'm going to go ahead and manually tap for this Elvish Archdruid. Now we have an instant speed company up, which is great. And if the opponent decides to get spicy, yep, they got Muxus. So now we have a blocker for Muxus. As long as they don't get... Okay, yeah, that's totally fine. We can survive that. So we'll let them attack with everything. Okay, smartly they are just attacking with Muxus. So let's see what we can Coco in. Realmwalker and Clancaller. And we will just let this Muxus hit us for 10. Because... we are going to attack for a lot more than that. Alright. Well, there we go. Quick and dirty. Yes, we did have fun in the match. Quick and dirty, Elves versus Goblins, and that's kind of exactly how we drew it up. We curved out really well, we grew our mana really quickly. The game decided to give us a Thwart the Grave. Wiley Beckert, my favorite artist, not named Seb McKinnon, currently working in the game. Absolutely gorgeous art. So let's play another one. I think that was really a good demonstration of what this deck can do. I mean, our opponent powered out a pretty quick Muxus, and we just didn't care. Okay, what do we got here? So we're on the draw, but we still have turn 1 Sentinel, turn 2 War Master and Sentinel, which makes a War Master token. Yeah, alright. I like this. Turn 3 we get a Lord. Alright, we got Goblins again. This is going to be interesting. See if we can have the same kind of game that we had against the last one. Getting a bunch of mana would be nice. You know, seeing an Elvish Archdruid early would be nice because we have the Behemoth in hand. It does only run one Craterhoof in the deck, so. But even still, we bring down the Sentinel, and then next turn we play Garenbrig, play the War Master and the other Sentinel, which creates a token. Then we play Clancaller, which creates another token, and everything's lorded up. Okay, opponent going with the turn 2 War Chief. Pretty good. We won't block. Alright, there's another reason that we want mana. And see, here we are up to 4 creatures on turn 2. That's kind of disgusting. Okay, yep, opponent. I'm just going to block with this token because we're going to make another one next turn and we can preserve our life total. And we're actually in a place where we can play 2 of these. And have... Yeah, I mean, look at that. It's turn 3, we have 2 lands, and we have 6 creatures. And they're all 2/2 or larger. Okay, gonna shrink one of our lords, that's fine. Gem Palm Incinerator is a card that Elves has had to worry about, but nope. Once again, we overpowered goblins. We were faster out the gate than they were, and just got them into a position where I don't know that there was anything they could have done there. I mean, even a Muxus at that point would probably have to hit 5 for us to not just be able to block and throw it right back in their face after that. So let's jam some more of this. So most of the reason why I'm playing this on Best of 1, because then this deck is also good in Best of 3 and Historic, I play this in the Best of 1 ladder because I have a 9.5-month-old, and sometimes all I can get is time for a game or 2 games while I'm holding him or while my wife's holding him. And alright, so we have the line again of turn 1 Jespera, turn 2 War Master, Allosaurus Shepherd, so we can play a 1/1 on turn 2 to give us 4 creatures going into turn 3 when we'll be able to play this Elvish Archdruid. Yeah, okay. I'm down again for really goodness. Alright, this to me, Riverglide Pathway says this is probably Phoenix, which does run a lot of burn spells, so we do have to be a little bit careful of them just burning out our elves. I've had that happen to me a couple of times where I just can't keep enough creatures on the board to get that overwhelming mass of elves that you need to actually win the game. So we'll hope that we can go without seeing all of the shocks and all the other burn spells, and just, if they want to... Oh, this might not be Phoenix. Alright, I may be wrong. So we'll go ahead and actually play the Jespera Sentinel here, because it gives us more mana next turn. And once again, we've got 4 creatures on turn 2. That's just unbelievable amounts of mana when we have this Archdruid and the 2 Jespera Sentinels. I think Jespera Sentinel is quietly one of the best elves they've printed in a very long time. And again, I consider myself a somewhat of an aficionado of elves. But War Master's no slouch either. But this card, just the ramp. I mean, I never thought we'd see something close to Llanowar Elves in Standard again. And here it is. Okay, so our opponent is possibly Jeskai. I may have been wrong with my assessment that they were Phoenix. Either way, I think we're going to eat a Prismari Command. So our War Master hits a burn spell. That's kind of annoying, but we do still have an Archdruid coming down next turn. I think I want to attack instead of also playing the Allosaurus Shepherd next turn. I'll play the Allosaurus Shepherd and I can still attack with 1 elf. Because now we have Allosaurus Shepherd activation up, and we can play Clancaller. Yeah. Alright, so opponent's got to burn out our Archdruid here, or we have them next turn. Because we can play the Clancaller and then have 6 elves, so Archdruid activates, kills the Allosaurus Shepherd. They have to either kill the Archdruid or the Shepherd. And even still, we have Finale, and we can grow to get the Craterhoof with 10 mana. You know, right now we only need 8 between the Archdruid to play the Clancaller and activate the Shepherd. So we'll see which path we end up having to go down. Either way, we're going to hit our opponent for quite a bit next turn. Okay, yep, there's the Archdruid gone. And we'll still play the Clan Caller and attack our opponent for 8. And end the turn. We can also go get another Archdruid next turn with Finale. It's not as impressive as the 10 mana play, but the 5 mana get a... pardon me. 5 mana get a Lord is still a pretty solid option. Assuming there's a Wrath of God Time Warp, okay. Alright, so our opponent is Jeskai control or taking turns. It's probably taking turns. We've so far dodged either a Wrath of God or similar effect. Alright, Goldspan Dragon. Seems fine. Make a treasure. Pop me for 4, opponent. That's totally fine. Still don't see you coming out of this. Ah! Ooh, that'll do it. Monsieur Clarion. Okay, Growing Rights should hopefully get us right back into it. And an Allosaurus Shepherd we can even play. So we'll play that Allosaurus Shepherd. It's not great to be us, having just been hit by a Wrath and our opponent with a 4/4 flyer, but we still have options. One more land means we can Finale for a Archdruid. A couple more creatures means we get to flip the Growing Rights, and we have our Gaia's Cradle that we have at home. Opponent's certainly casting a lot of spells. We really need to dodge more board wipes at this point. That Deafening Clarion was definitely annoying. I like Expressive Iteration quite a bit, because in addition to being an Elves player, I am a dirty Izzet mage at heart, and so a lot of these Prismari things, like Prismari Command, Expressive Iteration, are a lot of fun for me. Oh boy! Lorehold Command. Ah, okay. So this is the Velomachus Lorehold deck? The Taking Turns Lorehold deck? I will admit, I don't think I've played against this deck on ladder yet. But we're kind of muffed if they have another Time Warp. Turns out even at 5 mana, Time Walk is good. Hell, even at 7 mana, it's good. Looking at you, Alrund's Epiphany. Yep. Bink, bink, bink. Alright, it's going to be tough from here. Because now we're down to just a Finale in our hand. Alright, there's the land. I'm gonna go get... I think I'm going to go get a War Master, because then we can start growing out more Elves if we can. Obviously, we're just one extra turn spell basically away from ending this game, but... Oh, or the Spell Pierce. Yep. I think this one's probably over. We have no cards in hand, nothing on the board, and there's 8 damage, so we need to somehow draw Collected Company plus next turn. If Arena glitches and lets us draw 2... Nope, we draw a land. Okay. Alright, well, that is an example of how you beat this deck. Just board wipes. Let's jam another one. We got time? Those first 2 went very quickly. Into the thick of it. Children 007. Alright, we are on the draw with a turn 2 Archdruid and what looks like it'll be a turn 4 Craterhoof, assuming our opponent can't get in and around us anyway. Okay, Attune with Aether. A card I consistently forget exists because it was banned in Standard, so I didn't see it on Arena. Alright, turn 1 Llanowar, turn 2 Archdruid, turn 3 also Llanowar Elves. We could do withdrawing anything but land. Very interesting, our opponent got an island and then didn't play it. Whirl of Richeroso, alright, Energy Aggro, we just have to be faster than them, which is going to involve us doing this. And then doing this. Oh, yeah. We'll take a Lord and a War Master. And next turn it's Craterhoof. Can I just do that at any time? Yep. So here's hoping that they can't just kill us from here. Okay, another Virtuoso. So they can make 2 Thopters now. Not that that's really what they're in here for, but they also can't counter this Craterhoof. And it should be nighty-night. Yep. Once again, an example of the things this deck can do. Just up, down, really quickly. Okay, we'll play one more, get 5 good games in. This is definitely the kind of deck, and I think it's a lot of the aggro decks in Historic right now, where the wins come quickly and the losses usually take a while. But hopefully the wins keep coming. Alright, we're on the draw. We go turn 1 Allosaurus Shepherd, turn 2 Clancaller. If we draw any ramp on either of those turns, we get to turn 3 Company. If not, we have probably a turn 4 Company since we already have 3 lands. I'd like to see a Sentinel or a Llanowar Elves here, but we'll still lead off with the Allosaurus Shepherd. Alright, there's a Rogren Triome, so we're against a Rogren or Jeskai deck again. Okay, there's another Allosaurus Shepherd. Fortunately, they can't counter our green spells, which feels nice. Though they are ramping themselves faster than we are. Could very easily wipe our board here with a variety of different things. Or get, okay, Mizzix's Mastery, gonna Magma Opus. Gonna wipe our board as well. You're gonna get to draw some cards, make an Elemental. Feels pretty good. So we're gonna play out 2 Allosaurus Shepherds. Interesting they didn't go for our face there, because they could have. Never mind, we're going to play this Archdruid and hope they can't burn it out, because then next turn we can play 2 Shepherds and Company, and hopefully get ourselves right back into this. Yeah, not blocking. I'll take your 4. Damn! Prismari Command. So if we draw a land, we'll play Company. If not, we'll just play the 2 Allosaurus Shepherds. I'm still not super worried about this. Well, they discard Creativity and another Magma Opus. Alright, we got a Jaspera Sentinel, an Allosaurus Shepherd, and an Allosaurus Shepherd. So, looking pretty anemic against an opponent with lots of powerful magic cards, but... and again, I will not block. I will not accept your tricks. I need these creatures on the battlefield. Damn it, opponent. I said I need these creatures on the battlefield. Right, there's a Llanowar Elf. Still getting to a place where we might be able to cast this Company. I don't think it's likely that we're going to survive to that point, because opponent is doing a lot of ridiculous spells things. Yep, Creativity. And a Velomachus Lorehold into, let's see what fun thing they get with Lorehold. Mizzix's Mastery into Magma Opus. Yep, we are very dead. Fun to watch, though. Yep, that's the 4 to our face. We go to 8, and we die to the Velomachus and the attacking token. Okay. That was exciting. But I think that'll bring us to the end. That's, I think, a pretty good example of what this deck can do. Gets out quick, tends to do relatively well if you're not facing something like a deck full of board wipes or a deck full of damage-based board wipes. I think I could go up a company, but I'm not sure what I would go down because I like both of the growing rights. Might be convinced to go up a company and go down a growing rights, but other than that, I think all the 4-ofs are pretty well set here, especially the Lords and the War Master and the ramp spells and the Shepherd. So I don't really think you can move too many of those. I like having the Reclamation Sage tutor for because you can definitely take out some of the more troublesome artifacts. If I was going to play with a sideboard, I would definitely want more ways to take out artifacts and maybe some ways, or what is that card? The 1 and a green card that gives hexproof and all that sort of stuff from Kaladesh block. My knowledge of Kaladesh block is extremely bad because I played 1 Kaladesh pre-release and 1 Aether Revolt pre-release, and that was pretty much it, other than some drafting on Arena during the beta. So I know there's a card, it's 1 and a green, and Heroic Intervention perhaps is the name of the card. I think I'd like that in the sideboard of this if I was playing best of 3. But for best of 1, like you saw, this deck can absolutely just overwhelm opponents very quickly. So if you like what you're seeing, it's www.superliminalfilms.com. We can also be found on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Also, if you would do us the kind favor, right down below me, down there are some engagement buttons. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed to the channel. In the comments, you can yell at me and tell me how bad I am at playing Magic, or how cool it was to see this Elves deck pop off a couple of times. But until I see you next, which will be in a couple of weeks here on the channel, I've been Dan. Bye, everybody.